Right, well, we've just emerged from that lane there. There's a seat if you want to rest at Yew Tree Cottage. And then we're looking over, there's parts of the Hillfort in front of me there. We're now on the lane that will lead me straight to the church that we saw earlier on the walk. All these little buildings belong to, some have been repaired, and farms. We'll see more and more of the Hillfort when we come around the corner in a minute, especially the top. Yew Tree Farm, the barn, Yew Tree Farm. Some of these places have been done up since I came here last. Rendered, the walls have been rendered. Look at that big cloud there though. Massive cloud. There's me walking along. Yeah, look at that. We could get hit by that yet. There's another track here. Now if I came up, say I'd come up, I've got to remember if I ever do this again, you've got to make sure you go to the seat before you turn off. Because if you wander up anywhere else, you're going to be... But there is a track, look. Yeah, I could try it. Apparently it's open to people going up that way. That's probably where that girl come out of there. So there is another way as well that you can do. Lots to explore, isn't there? Right, let me go back here and take a picture of the Hillfort from here a minute. Hold on over now. I'm back down the lane now towards the church, which will come into view not once we get past that corner there. Just say a few things that are going on in the world. Russia's, I should say Putin is attacking the Ukraine really badly now, attacking Kiev, their capital, destroying buildings. They're really starting to go for the capital now. Since he's met Trump, it's intensified the bombarding of Ukraine by the Russians, even though over 1 million young men and women have died for Russia. And I've got a grandson who's thinking about joining the army. They're waiting to hear back from him, and I just said, oh, you'll end up in Ukraine if you ain't careful. It's going that way. But like a lot of young men, they've been lured by the... Because he said to me all the things that I knew they were learning by. Oh, you see the world, you get paid, you know, which is true to a certain extent, but do you really want to see the Ukraine? I know they need help, but you know, I don't know if they will. We will go. But he's thinking of doing it because he can finish off his plumbing that he's been doing. He's got most of it done. He's got bits and pieces that they will help him with. And he's only going for 3 years. He just thinks that they would, and he can cope with discipline and stuff, you know. I don't know. I worry about him really, because I just think about all those young people that have died in Russia and Ukrainians as well, you know, all over the place. War, why do we have to have wars? You know, why can't we all get on? The warrior gene is in action, isn't it, all over the world? Testosterone. Anyway, there's a Hillfort. That's a sign of defence. The Iron Age Hillfort, look. They built great big ramparts and everything. We've always been warring. Seems to be. I don't know what to do about it, why people have to fight over a hill and let thousands die for it. It was like in the last war, was it the last war, the First World War? Thousands died just fighting over some trees and a lump of land. In one day, thousands. Just got cut down by machine guns. The Somme is the big example, isn't it? The Somme. Battle of the Somme. So just a few little words. Chelsea men and Chelsea women footballers are doing well. They've won their first game in the league, or whatever they were playing in. They've both won their games. Start of the football season, you see. Though it goes on all year now. And a lot of the games I have to watch on YouTube via some other website. Because they don't always show it on telly. They do show some on telly. Anyway, we're back to the church, everyone. Anything else happening in the world? There's been some earthquakes in Afghanistan. We've had several earthquakes recently and killed a lot of people. Mainly women and children. They were kept in the homes. Anyway, back to our lovely little St Michael and All Angels of Rowberrow. I've been inside. I'm not going in again. It's a lovely little church. It's set in the grounds of the Manor House. And it's open. I've been able to get in after all these years. Yeah, it's got lots of history. It's been, religion and stuff has been here a long time. Because they've had the Saxon stone inside the church, which I took photos of. So, after the Iron Age lot and all that, then you've got the Saxons coming over. And with the religion, of course, bringing their religion. Sometimes I just have to remember the timeline of history, because you think, oh well, where were the Romans now? You know, things like that. To try and remember everything. And the Iron Age were like 3,000 years ago. The Saxons were in the 870s after Christ. And there's some before as well, I think, because some of them were pagans. Right, we've just come through the gate now. We're on full circle. There's lots of very heavy black clouds coming. Now, just along that road, it's much nearer to where I am, but it's very, very dangerous. I will not go there. I'm not sure if there's a little lane either that would take me off that busy A38. It's a very dangerous road, very, very fast, and it's all on a bend up there. But anyway, we've got all the roots of the trees. We're coming down. We came up it earlier. We're coming down, and anyway, I've had a very interesting conversation with what would have been the Lord of the Manor. He owns all this valley. He owns all. He said to me, "If you're passing, do come in." And he was telling me that there's some sort of event going on next Saturday in the village of Shipham, where there's a historian there, and he said he might be able to help you more with the tree stuff. So I was telling him about my cousin Barbara. Because I was just casually talking. I met them earlier when I was in the graveyard. Their dogs were barking at me, and I just sort of... A woman came out and just told them to be quiet. There was a Jack Russell was smiling at me. Anyway, we just come back then, walking along the road, and a man came along with the two same dogs that were barking at me. They still didn't like the look of me. But anyway, they are rescue as well. But we were just talking about history and the church, and I said, oh, is it possible to get the key to the church at any time? But I mean, like I said, I probably won't be coming back. But he did say, look, if you ever pass and you want to come in for a cup of coffee or anything, you know, you're welcome to pop in, you know, and because he's not been there that long, but he doesn't know a lot. I was informing him about the history of this place, but he knows a bit about it. He owns all this valley here. He's like the Lord of the Manor. When he bought he owns the manor, the big house attached to the church that I was on about. And he's probably only in his early 40s. Didn't look very old anyway. He's equivalent to the Lord of the Manor. But he's just dressed like an ordinary... Do you know what I mean? I've thought, God, you expect a Lord of the Manor to... I don't know what you expect them to be like, but he's just like an ordinary bloke with a t-shirt on. And he was talking like ordinary and everything. Wasn't posh. He didn't have a posh English accent or anything. And his wife, or whoever that lady was, she seemed posher. Yeah, no, I got chatting to him for ages. And I was telling him all about the mining and velvet bottom places to go. And he was describing things to me, and I said, oh yeah, I know where that is. Yeah, I've been in there. You know, like the bunker on the Blackdown Hills. And what's the other place? You know, where the lime kilns that you've just scattered all the way along here. Yeah, so he lives in the manor. So I've met the Lord of the Manor, really, because he owns this valley. Owns it. It's his. So that's good. It's all part of the history, you see, to actually meet the Lord of the Manor. And because he was telling me about the people that were in it. They're all buried in the churchyard, actually, the Leecrofts. There's big plaques in the church that I was recording when I was in there before I knew. I assumed they might be Lords and Lady of the Manor, that family. And they were there for quite a long time, a couple hundred years or something. But they were all tied up with the slave trade, apparently. And of course, then I thought to myself, oh yeah, we've got people like that in our tree that were tied up with the slave trade. It's all kept very quiet now, isn't it? But apparently that Lord of the Manor then caused a lot of grief to a lot of families in the village, because when he stopped the mining, there was a lot of poverty happened. And that's why a lot of them left to go to, you know, they left the villages. They went into Weston to get work, or they went to Wales. You know, there's history, and it's interesting, really, isn't it? So I saw those graves today and the monuments inside the church to the old Lords of the Manor, and then I'm just casually walking around today and I meet the new one, but I don't know if he's got a title. I don't think he has, but he's got the mansion, and I've been invited to go there if I want some time. And, it should be very interesting, wouldn't it, for me to be able to go in there and have a look around. He said it was a hotel a few years back. After this Leecrofts had it, they sold it, and it was a hotel for about 10 years. He said, because you can tell from upstairs that it's very bit regimental, like a hotel would be. They're trying to restore it back to a bit more like a downstairs. He said it's all right. He said, oh yeah, well, I live in the mansion. I said, oh, you know, because I was just talking to him like any casual type thing I would do. And it's like when I met Tamsin for the first time. She's quite posh, and I knew with her that she was an educated lady, and I could tell that she had background, if you know what I mean. But I didn't know anything about her, and I couldn't even remember her name after a day. I had no idea. And then when I studied biology years ago at college, we would have talked about the Leakeys back then and the archaeology. And I've got a book somewhere, it's locked away, of a lecturer of mine who signed the book. It was a biology book. And he was really into genetics and evolution. And there was a whole, if I'd carried on doing my studies, there was going to be a whole thing about evolution. And I'm sure, I am dead sure, something rang a bell here and there about these archaeologists that had discovered the skulls and that. It's a very strange thing how you meet people, because I think when I went up on my round Britain family tour in 2014, I went up to Scotland in 2014. I was up there for a couple of weeks, and it's a great possibility that she was up there as well. It's almost like we're just missing each other all the time. She's very interesting. Her whole family is interesting. And I just met this bloke now, and he's got stuff to share, like of the old Lord of the Manor, which will make sense to Barbara's ancestors, because they would have been his subject. They would have been under the Lord of the Manor, you know, and all that. A lot of cider drinking in those days. I was going to say to him, can't you restore the Miners' Arms? I hope somebody does. That's a real old pub, that is. Looks like it's still in the like 1930s or 1900s. That hasn't really changed much. Anyway, I'm going to go now because it's a bit of a long video. Over and out. Right, folks. I've just got back just in time. The thunder and lightning was walking with me for about 15 minutes. I had to, and it's rumbling out there now, and I just got back as the rain started. Literally, I've been back in this car 2 minutes. And I didn't do, oh, there was a flash. Oh, I've got to turn off, everyone. It's a massive flash then. Oh, I'm scared, it's right overhead. I like it, don't get me wrong, but I'm so glad I got to the car. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm going to leave it on for a minute. I'm going to leave it on for a minute. Oh my God, what's happening? It's right overhead. Lightning and everything. I've been in the car 3 minutes now. I was walking it because I was talking to the bloke from the Lord of the Manor a minute ago, and I had to get back up. The combe, and just as I was coming out of Dolebury Warren, I heard a rumble. The skies darkened. And it's right overhead now. I'm expecting a massive crash any minute. When I get back to Weston, I won't be getting out. I'll sit in the car. I've got drink and food. Get out. Oh my God, I just made it back. On the weather forecast, it said no rain, no storms, nothing. There might be a shower. I'm going to go back Banwell way today. Are you? Yeah. Oh, another flash. Oh my God. Right, I'm turning it off, folks. I'm turning it off just in case it attracts the lightning.